Welcome to Mogobe Nuggets of Wisdom podcast. My name is Mompoloki Lerumo Mogobe. Our objective is to enthuse, inspire, energize, and empower entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs of all stripes here in BW and beyond. We do so by inviting these entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs into our makeshift studio. Sometimes we call them to the restaurant, sometimes we go to our studio, and we ask them to share their experiential knowledge, their experiences and their expertise. And we ask them as many questions as we can, aimed at empowering you also as a viewer. Hello dear viewer, dear listener, my name is Mompoloki Lerumo Mogobe. Welcome to yet another exciting and life-changing episode of Mogobe Nuggets of Wisdom podcast. I have on the studio Mr. Lebo Moeti, who's a pastor and also a motivational speaker. But as with all the other guests, I always want my guests to introduce themselves. Welcome to Black.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mogobe, for having me again. It is my pleasure to feature again in the Mogobe Nuggets of Wisdom. My name is Lebo Moeti, as you have rightly mentioned. I'm a motivational speaker, I'm a pastor, I'm also into farming and also into a property business. I'm also a life coach, certified life coach, a trainer as well.
Okay, thank you for honoring our invitation for the second time. We really appreciate veterans like you taking the time out. We're going to talk about purpose,
Yes,
which is a very, very broad subject.
yes.
But before we do, please tell us what your definition of purpose is. What really is the subject we're trying to cover?
Right. Purpose is a topic or a subject that is very close to my heart. I'll just, what I'm going to say is not really exhaustive of what a purpose is, but is so much in line with the discussion that I've decided for us to focus on today. Firstly, I want to make mention of the fact that when God created us, He wired each one of us differently in our brains. When you study brain science, the first law of brain science is that of diversity. That every brain is wired differently. There are no two brains that are wired the same. So the way we are wired, is in line with what life would demand of us, and that very thing that we gravitate towards naturally, that thing that we are passionate about, that thing that fulfills us, that thing that you would rather be doing. And even if you are not paid, you just want to go on and do it. And when you do it, you feel like all systems are firing in the same direction in your body. You are fired up, and you are so invigorated, and you are so excited about it. So purpose also lines up with your abilities. You find that the very thing that you are naturally able to do, it lines up with your purpose. So we can, in short, say that your purpose is your why of life, the very thing that gives you meaning to be alive, the very thing that you feel like, this is my contribution to humanity, this is my contribution to life. This is something that when I do, I feel like I can just go on and on and on and do it.
That's
Right.
great. And what is it that ignites purpose? What is the thing that brings your purpose into focus in life? What ignites it?
Right. There are many things, Mr. Mogobe, that lines us up to our purpose. I'm just going to outline a few. Sometimes it can be circumstances, because like I said, we are wired differently. You'll find that the way we respond to the circumstances of our lives. Let me give an example with Nelson Mandela and other leaders like Gandhi and many other leaders. You find that they were subjected to the same realities politically as everybody else who lived in their time. But they had a certain thought pattern. They had a certain way in which they responded to those circumstances in life. So one of the things that can ignite that is the things that would happen around your life, and the way you would react or respond to those circumstances, and you will get fulfilled by doing that very thing. I normally would say that your purpose is your answer to life. As a pastor, I would say that your purpose is the answer that God knew would be asked in your generation, or is a solution to a problem that God knew would arise in your generation. So the way you would respond to that problem, to that situation in your unique way, is one way in which purpose can be ignited. And the other thing, if you look into your life, the very thing that you cannot stand, there are people that cannot stand ignorance, for instance, and they would want to impart knowledge. They don't want people that are ignorant, like yourself. You always want to empower people. You always want to, bring in knowledge in whatever form that you can. So look at yourself and ask yourself, what is the kind of thing that I cannot stand? I'll go back to the example of Nelson Mandela. He couldn't stand, black subjugation and oppression and all that. So it's something that everybody else was subjected to, and him and other comrades, they could not stand that, and then it ignited that thing in him to say, I am going to stand for this ideal. Even if I die, I will die, but I cannot stand this. So there are
famous
people,
Rivonia speech.
yes. So there are people that when they get into this space, they can say, this place, these chairs are not properly arranged. They will start arranging. When somebody's listening to music, I think the production here is not right. And like these guys, when they were doing, you find that they were meticulous. They were, it points to your purpose. For some of us, as long as there are pictures and so as long as there is sound, it's fine. But for somebody who has an ear for production, they will say no. But the lighting was too much there. So whatever it is that you cannot stand, it also points to your purpose. So the very thing that ignites your excitement, and the very thing that
does that mean everybody has a purpose, or everybody is born with a purpose?
Definitely. There is nothing on earth that is without a purpose, whether it is a living thing or a non-living thing. Even these cameras that are we are using for this production, each and everything has a purpose. So every human being, therefore, came with a purpose and for a purpose. So regardless of the circumstances of your birth, or your country, or whatever background or circumstances, there is a reason why you are alive, and there is nobody who is without a purpose. The most important thing is to discover. Mark Twain said, there are two
Who's
most...
that?
Mark Twain. He said, there are two most important days in life: the day you were born and the day you discovered why. So, we can say philosophical that until you discover why
you were born,
you have not started living. You are just existing. So purpose, everybody has a purpose.
So does purpose help us then shift from existence to living?
Definitely. When you find the meaning for life, when you find the why of life, you start living. Otherwise, you are just existing, waking up, and then you eat, you sleep, and then the following day you wake up again. You don't have any sense of meaning as to why you are here.
In as much as you can identify a purpose, it means that there's a sense in which purpose can be destroyed or killed.
Yes.
Yeah. What are the sort of things that can kill purpose?
Yeah. So, purpose thrives on your seed, which is your potential. You see, Your potential is that very ability that is in you that you have not yet released. So your potential is like a seed. So a seed cannot grow if it is not in the right environment. So the environment is very, very, very key. The environment doesn't necessarily need to be when everything is adding up, but it should be something that makes that thing that is in you to come out. In some cases, it can be something that is very bad, sometimes something that is very good, but whatever your purpose is, the environment plays a very pivotal role in you, playing out that very purpose. And also, people around you. People can kill you. Kill you, not like shoot you dead. Their words, their perception
Comments,
of you, their comments and everything, they can really kill you, especially if you believe
what they are saying.
Yeah, if for instance, when you started this Mogobe Nuggets of Wisdom, somebody might have said, "What are you trying to do?" Many people have tried this thing. Why are you wasting your time? You could be doing other things. This thing, it is not putting in money. So, but if you are passionate about something, if it is something that is your purpose, you will go on regardless of the challenges. So sometimes people's comments can actually, kill your purpose, and especially if you believe what people say. And also,
so in other words, nobody can kill your purpose without your permission.
Definitely, because sometimes we find that the more people try to discourage you, the more that discouragement becomes fuel for your passion. So you really want to prove your point that I have this within me. I know I can do it. So the discouragement or the negative comments don't become the water that extinguishes the fire in you. It becomes the fuel that actually fans the fire and makes it to be big flames, and you become unstoppable.
Okay. Now, so how do we then defend ourselves and protect ourselves from our purposes being destroyed? I think that's a follow-up question.
Right. Yeah. I think focus is very, 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 very important. The moment you discover your purpose, you now start to have a sense of destiny, a sense of this is where I want to, see myself in the future. And the moment you have that and you focus, challenges will come. Every purpose will be tested in life. Every vision will be tested for authenticity. And when you stand all those tests, you will be able to realize your purpose. So focus is extremely important, and consistency. Even if you can, fall, you rise up again. You dust yourself up, and then you keep going. Even if it cannot be very fast, at least one step at a time. Every day, make sure that every day you do something that is in line with your purpose. It can be a small SMS, a WhatsApp, an email, a phone call to somebody that is in line with what you want to do. All these things every day, they build up to the very purpose that you want to do.
The question I want to ask you next is having to do with your career as a speaker.
Yes.
What do you think on this issue of purpose? Because I'm going to ask you about why purpose in life and in business.
Yes.
And I'm setting the background for this question.
Yes.
In terms of your speaking career,
yes,
how have you approached your audiences, and how impactful have you been in delivering this message? I really want you to speak to entrepreneurs out there, why purpose is important in life and in business as an entrepreneur.
Right. Because really, I normally would say that until you know who you are, you cannot know what you can do. Because any idea that will stand the vicissitudes of life should be an idea that is born out of who you are as a person.
Vicissitudes, for those who don't know, ups and downs.
Yeah, the ups and downs. Because in entrepreneurship, in business, there will be those ups and downs. So purpose is extremely important, because purpose is that very thing that makes you kick, that makes you wake up every day, that makes you have meaning in life. So when you have discovered your purpose, like in my case, as a speaker, when I started, it was just speaking just to encourage people, just to motivate people. Any opportunity that I found to speak to people, I would use that, whether there was money involved or not. Sometimes I would even pay to have my included in the lineup, just for me to be able to express myself.
Really?
So, yeah,
paying the organizers.
Paying the organizers. Yes, so that, for me, the joy was in doing what I feel I was born to do. So the more people, eat of the fruit that is coming out of your purpose, the more they want to say, wow, can we have more of it? And then when they say, can we have more of it, that is when you say, okay, let us talk. So
it's important for entrepreneurs to be able to give something for free in order to get the long term.
Yes, even in our Setswana,
culture.
In our Setswana culture, when our grandmoms were selling a traditional brew, there was a very small cup that they would give to people. Like
mood or taste,
taste.
The taster.
And the taster. And then when somebody takes it and tastes, they say, wow, can I get on a bigger container? They say, okay, this one is 25 tebe or is this. So in marketing, people have to have a taste of your product, of your service, or of whatever, before they can actually have confidence in you. So what I can say to entrepreneurs is that, you don't just do something because somebody else is doing it. You do it because that is the very thing that makes you wake up every day. You find fulfillment in it. Because like I said earlier, there are going to be challenges in every business. And also when you have got employees, over and above the qualifications that they bring, you should also be interested in knowing who these people are in terms of their purpose. Because somebody who is purposeful about what you are bringing them into the business to do will do it even without looking at the pay. I'm not saying people should not be paid, without looking at the time, because that is what they enjoy doing. So if you bring somebody who enjoys doing what they do and you pay them for it, I can assure you.
Somebody said your vacation becomes your vacation.
Definitely.
Or your vocation becomes your vacation.
Yes.
That's when you know that you've made it.
Yes. So whether you are the entrepreneur yourself or you are an employer, you bring in people. Purpose is very key, because when you bring in somebody who's just qualified, they may just do it for the sake of money. When you are not there, they will just be playing cards on the computer. But if it's something that they enjoy doing, they will do it whether you are there or you are not.
There's something interesting you've told me, that there's a positive impact of purpose on the brain.
Yes.
Almost like what neuroscientists have been telling us.
Yes.
Can you define it and explain it
Right.
both technically and simplistically so we can understand it?
Right. I'm really in love with brain science, because it helps us understand why we operate the way we do. So research in neuroscience has shown that people that have got purpose in life, there is what they call the default mode network in the brain, that is more like a conductor of an orchestra. That is the part that controls all the other networks within the brain. So people that are default mode network. Yes. So that they say people that have got purpose in life, their default mode network is able to work well with what they call the limbic system. The limbic system is the part, the system that deals with reward. The brain has what we call the reward system, or the basal ganglia, where
basal ganglia.
Yes. So when you do something, there is that fulfillment that comes So people that are purpose-driven, it has shown that the brain network connectivity for all the networks within the brain, they work seamlessly well, and that they are able to deal more with stressful situations in a peaceful manner. So because all the networks are firing in harmony, when a negative stimuli presents, they don't panic. They are able to respond, in a very calm manner, and they are able, therefore, to persevere through all life vicissitudes, like you've said, and they always come out tops. They always win. They don't give up easily. So when you are operating on your purpose, you are actually operating on a positive,
So does it actually impact your health in general as well?
Definitely. It really does, because it has also been shown that people that are not purpose-driven, or whose lives do not have a meaning, so to speak, especially as they grow up, there is the part of the brain in the frontal cortex, which is called the hippocampus. This is the part that is mainly that is mainly used for memory.
Cognitive activity.
Yes, yes, for memory. So the people that are purpose-driven, you find that their hippocampus it is healthy, and there is what we call neurogenesis. So purpose in life, it makes the brain cells to be fresh every day, every morning. Renewed. That is the word. So in that way, when you think well, you are improving the health of the hippocampus, and then even as you grow old, it guards against what we call neurodegenerative disorders or sicknesses like dementia, like Parkinson's disease, like Alzheimer's diseases and all that.
I was going to ask you about the negative effect of having no purpose.
Yes.
And something popped into my brain about how you've just made an argument against retirement. You're basically saying, why retire when the act of retirement is actually going to be degenerative in effect?
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm reading from what you're saying.
Yes, because retirement really should not be the cessation of your mental activities. Even when at work they say you are now 65, even when you are still working, you should find something that you enjoy doing, whether it is gardening, whether it is farming, whether it is music, whether it is speaking, whether it is what. And then you should be doing it on the side and polishing it and perfecting it, so that even when they lay you off from work, you can now venture into something that excites you, and then it is good for your brain health as well.
All right, let's talk about motivation. As a motivational speaker, you are best placed to explain how purpose and motivation work together and interrelate.
Right. Yes. Brain science has shown that people that are purpose-driven in life also, the part that is called the stratum, which is part of the limbic system. The limbic system is responsible for the emotions and memory. So you find that people that are purpose-driven, they have a very, very, very high sense, or what I can call cognitive fluency, where they are able to, their brains are able to flow in terms of them understanding what they do and being perfect at what they do and be excellent at what they do. So when you are excellent in what you do and you deliver a good product, so there is that reward system that is in the brain. You feel good. And the more you feel good, the brain produces dopamine, which is a hormone, the feel good hormone. And then the more it is secreted, the more you feel good about what you do. So you are motivated. People that are purpose driven, they have what we call intrinsic motivation. So it is what they do that gives them fulfillment than the reward that is extrinsic. Whether they have got more pay or there's external rewards, when they do what they do, like what you are doing, you can do it until sunset if there weren't other things to do. So there is that intrinsic motivation, which is where also as entrepreneurs, going back, when you hire people that are purpose driven, whose purpose is what you have hired them to do, they are intrinsically motivated. They do what they do with so much passion, so they don't need anybody to police them. They can do it, they can do their work on their own. So people that are purpose driven are generally self-motivated people.
Is there a connection between what you're talking about, having been motivated, having purpose, and longevity and a good life and a long life, healthy life?
Yes. Like I said, the way the brain functions, they say our brain is plastic, meaning that it's malleable. It takes the shape of our thoughts. So if we have got healthy thoughts or positive thoughts, they say our brains are wired for positivity. There is what they call optimism bias. That is how our brain is wired. So when we think in a positive way, when we are purpose driven, we find that we are building a healthy neurochemical balance in our brain, such that we are guarding against, like I have said, neurodegenerative diseases, especially for people that are aging. Research has shown that as you grow, the hippocampus, which is the part that deals with memory, it shrinks. So thereby you are not able to remember easily, and your ability to encode new information, or you cannot be able to learn easily. Your ability to learn new things, it is inhibited when you are not flowing in your purpose. But when you are flowing in your purpose, you will realize that your intelligence doesn't go down. Even when you go old, you get wiser and wiser the older you go. Even your health generally, it improves. It doesn't go down.
Okay, so I'm very curious, sir. It's clear that you're very learned in this area as a motivational speaker. Somebody might be watching and thinking, can this really be a career?
Yes.
How did you do it? How did you position yourself as a speaker? And can one really make a career out of motivational speaking in Botswana?
Yes, definitely. Like I said, even with motivational speaking, the most important thing is purpose, which is why when you are a speaker, you should have a purpose, and you should use your talent to communicate that purpose. So, like for instance, for me, my purpose is to help other people discover their purpose. That is my purpose. That is my background is also from teaching and also from pastoring. I am privileged to pastor a church which we call Word of Destiny, where you discover your purpose. So you find that each time when I get into, I have spoken here, even at the business, you find that my talking is in line with how the mind works, and it's about purpose. It's about purpose. It's about purpose. So when you have discovered your purpose, then you can use your speaking as a vehicle to communicate that purpose to people. So in that way, you become unique.
Yes.
You don't just regurgitate other people's books and ideas and everything. Whatever you speak, it comes from the heart, because that is
it's
you.
authentic.
It is very authentic.
Yeah. And how did you, what was the self-training that you went through to achieve this? I mean,
Yes.
What sort of regimen do you have to maintain,
Yes.
to achieve this, and then to maintain this level of shall I call it cognitive awareness?
Yes. So it has also been formal and also informal, and through mentoring and coaching. My first qualification is in secondary education, which is where I got a lot of psychology from. But I later did a diploma in life coaching. So I'm a certified life coach. And then I also enrolled with Les Brown for mentorship.
That's my man.
Yes.
Yes.
In
online.
Or on motivational speaking. And then I also got in touch with other people that were in the industry before. And then I have just finalized my master's also in theology, just to sharpen my acumen, my ability to understand things.
And to be able to share it with your audiences.
I read a lot, and most of the things that I read on or I listen are to do with brain science, psychology, and purpose.
Okay. And is there a book or a podcast or anything that you think the entrepreneur listening to you might pick on and then, learn something from?
I'll be biased to say Mogobe nuggets of wisdom.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you for that.
Yes, because there you can really, find a diversity of talent. I listen to it a lot. When sometimes I hear somebody that is coming from the farming background, sometimes from the production film, sometimes from speaking like myself, different people. So when people log into this, you surely will be watered and be motivated in whatever area. Because for me, I listen to podcasts that are dealing with especially brain science. But if brain science is not your thing, Mogobe nuggets of wisdom should be your thing, because it doesn't just bring only one angle. So from there, when you have discovered your purpose, we can be able to choose the line that we can actually follow.
Could you just say something as we answer the bonus point, which is the connection between purpose and cognitive fluency, and also look at the camera to encourage the viewer with something motivational on that subject?
Yes. Like I said, people that are purpose-driven, they have cognitive fluency. In other words, their level of intelligence in that very area, it is heightened when you are flowing on your purpose. Your level of intelligence is on steroids, because you are operating in your God-given talent. You definitely, obviously, need to augment that natural talent with a formal education, going to school, going to seminars, listening to podcasts and all that. But you find that there is a basis on which you are building, which is your natural God-given talent. And like I talked about the hippocampus, when you are operating on your purpose, that part in the frontal cortex called the hippocampus, it grows healthy cells, which helps you to remember things. Your memory becomes very sharp. Even on very specific things that happened, your memory doesn't wane off as you age. So you have what you call cognitive efficacy, your ability to go through situations that are tough with that cognitive acumen that is very high. You are able to be sharp and to think very deeply in your area of operation or in your purpose. So discover your purpose, and then your level of intelligence will grow and grow until you grow old.
Thank you very much. Now, this is the opportunity to ask the hosts, namely myself, one question.
Definitely. My question would, be in line with what you've just talked about, to say, what is that very thing, Mr. Mogobe, that keeps you going with all the challenges that life throws at you, and you still wake up with a smile. And in short, what would you say is your purpose? What is it that thing that when you do, it gives you so much motivation, and you are so passionate about, you would rather be doing the rest of your life?
Well, I like the idea of empowering others.
Yes.
Part of the reason we've created what I call Mogobe Gentle Giant, which is a group of companies and a group of people working under the Mogobe group of companies, is to find a way of empowering others. Whether we're talking about a restaurant such as this, whether we're talking about a law firm, whether we're talking about the nuggets of wisdom, the idea is to enthuse, to energize, inspire, and to empower others.
Wow.
So if I can do those things,
Yes.
I think I'll be living my purpose. And if in the process of doing those things, I can also take care of my family, take care of myself, and achieve a significant life and make an impact on the life of others, then I think I'm accomplishing something. So
Wow.
that in a nutshell is my purpose.
Wow.
Yes.
That's awesome. You see that purpose comes first. You are talking about money coming in, you helping your family, but the most important thing is your why. So when your why comes out very clear, then your how becomes easy. So you come up with various ways of making money as an answer to your why of life. In that way, you are unstoppable.
Thank you very much. I take that as a massive compliment. And as we part, kindly share with the viewer your contact details, your contact addresses, and also talk about your church, where it's located, so they can find you.
Right. Thank you so much, Mr. Mogobe, for your generosity. Our WhatsApp number is +267 7172 4117 7172 4117. You can like our Facebook page is called Lebo Moeti Speaks. Lebo Moeti Speaks. Just donate a like there. And then our email is info@lebomoeti.co.bw. info@lebomoeti.co.bw. Our website is www.lebomoeti.co.bw. www.lebomoeti.co.bw. Our Twitter handle is @Lebo Moeti Speaks. Instagram is Lebo Moeti Speaks 3. So our church is called Word of Destiny Church. So also donate a like for our Facebook page, and we go live every Thursday at 1900 hours, and on Sunday at 1000 hours. You will see
Go live on Facebook.
Yeah, we go live on Facebook. We are featuring different people, especially on Thursday. In 2 Thursdays to come, we'll be having Mr. Mogobe. We call it the Destiny Night of Champions. It comes every Thursday, and then Sunday is at 10 o'clock. So we are located in Pakalani. Immediately you cross the railway line, you turn left, is the second building. There will be some signposts. We'll be more than willing to come and help you discover your purpose, so that you can also maximum your potential and leave a legacy. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed.